Let us discuss passage number 2 of the paper. This passage is regarding information and communication technologies and the risks involved with them. Information and communication technologies, it says, has become a central part of everyday life. It has become a key factor in driving development, innovation, and economic growth. These technologies generate enormous benefits, but they are also risky. Why? Owing to the ease of accessing data and using it for criminal purposes. Now, cyber attacks are already vastly increasing in number, sophistication, magnitude, and impact. And as the world becomes more interdependent and hyperconnected, there is growing concern about the vulnerability of the internet. Because almost all the economic activities, including trade, energy provision, and the entire financial system, depends on the internet. Cyber attacks take place in a medium cyberspace where offensive actions have an advantage over defensive ones. Most of cyberspace infrastructure was designed to ensure its interoperability and openness, often at the expense of security, which tends to limit usability. Attacks are usually asymmetric. The barriers to cyberspace are inconsequential, and governments have struggled to enforce the rule of law online. Attackers with limited resources are able to cause disruptions that have far greater impact than similar actions in the physical world. In a medium that does not map onto political borders, it is impossible to manage risk successfully from just one jurisdiction. Now, basically, the problem is that this particular medium, the online medium, does not map on political borders, and therefore it becomes difficult to manage these risks. In economic terms, cybercrime is already comparable in size to drug trafficking, and it is highly internationalized. But we have yet to develop fully a global governance regime. Various initiatives have attempted to facilitate an international management of cyberspace, but none has had more than limited success. By 2020, 2/3 of the global population will be online. We need approaches that lead to a fluid and frank dialogue among states, the private sector, and civil society in order to secure our cyberspace. Now consider the following statements. Various initiatives to ensure cybersecurity have seen little success because cyberspace is not under the restraint of political borders. Yes, of course, it is not. We just read it. Because of the absence of global governance regime. Well, statement 1 here is definitely correct. We just discussed this thing which is given here, where it's in the second last paragraph, in a medium that does not map onto political borders, it is impossible to manage risks successfully. So as per this, the first statement is correct. And is it difficult to ensure cybersecurity because of the absence of global governance regime? Well, if you go back to that line where global governance regime has been spoken about, it says, but we have yet to develop fully a global governance regime. That means the global governance regime is there, but it is not fully developed. So we cannot say that it is absent, but here the second statement says that it is absent. So this will be incorrect. Therefore, the answer will be option A. Our vulnerability to cyber attacks is increasing as the global population who uses the internet is increasing at a high rate. Well, of course, in fact, it is very clearly given in the passage here that all our economic activities depend on the internet. And in the first paragraph also, that internet has affect even the most underdeveloped and remote areas of the planet also. This means that more and more population is using the internet, and the vulnerability to cyber attacks is due to that only. some of our economic activities depend on the internet. Well, this can be eliminated at the first glance, because not some of our economic activities, as per the passage, nearly all economic activities depend on the internet. So when we say nearly all, it means almost all, but not some. We cannot say only some of them depend. And it is very clearly given here. On which nearly all economic activities. Therefore, first is correct and second is incorrect. So the answer will be option A. The main focus of the passage is on the increasing vulnerability of the world to cyber attacks and the need to manage the risks associated with it. The need for a global cyber governance regime. Well, you can quickly eliminate option C, because this is very, very narrow. Global cyber governance regime has been spoken only once, and that is only one of the points that come in discussing the main idea. Discussing the various reasons for cyber attacks. Well, reasons as such have not been discussed. So this is option D is completely out of scope. And if you look at option A, this is again very narrow in scope, that increasing vulnerability of the world to cyber attacks. This is not the only thing that the passage is discussing. In fact, the answer here is option B, that it discusses about cyber attacks and the need to manage the risks associated with it. So our answer will be option B.